Welcome back, everyone. This is Mike Lowe, and this is the Same Old Lions franchise stream here using Madden 21. We are about to play our Week 11 game. We're going to take a look around the league and give you an update as to what's going on. If you missed any of the previous games, they're all up on the YouTube channel here. You can flip through. Some of those are just straight gameplay with no audio as far as like narration from me is concerned. Other times there are some obviously ones that I've streamed out live. So our most recent game, if we just go back and look at the box score, because that was a game that there was no commentary. I just streamed it last night, and but I would like to take a look at the box score because it was the Lions' first win. So pretty exciting news here. We finally get through our first win here. We took a 20-0 lead into the second half. And really just tried to hold on to that lead. It got a little bit closer than we really wanted it, as we only scored another 3 points. But we got away with the victory 23-18. Again, the offense did enough. We were sacked a couple times, but put up about 350 or so of offense. When you look at the minus the sack yardage there, very similar to what the Vikings did at 354. First downs were pretty even. It was a pretty even game. We were lucky to force a couple turnovers. We had a fumble recovery like inside their 5-yard line, so that was great. That's where we got that field goal. So unfortunately, we couldn't convert it to 7, but we took the free 3 there at the start of the third. Had an interception that was returned for a touchdown as well. So let's see here. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Again, it was a pretty even game where they really, I wouldn't say dominated the second half, but we just kind of sat back a little bit and held on for the first victory of the year. Nick Escobar is the rookie who's been starting the last few weeks. This actually was one of his worst games. Touchdown interception, wasn't super efficient, but was able to get the job done. Had a pretty solid first half. He's up to a 73 overall right now. Second round pick, normal development. So we're keeping an eye on him because we're really trying to decide what we want to do at the quarterback position in the future. At this point, I mean, Stafford's going to be released here at the end of the season to save that cap space because he's making $20 or $30 million or something like that. But 24 of 40, 60% for Nick Escobar there. Yards per attempt were a little low. He did a lot of scrambling around a little bit and throwing balls, out of bounds and whatnot. A lot of pressure. Pretty good defense outside of their cornerbacks with Minnesota. So there was a lot of pass rush happening in this particular game. Again, just the run game isn't terrible, but we're one of the worst running teams in the league right now. Truthfully, it hasn't been successful, so I've been passing a little bit more here, even with the rookie. So, but you can see definitely spreading the ball around. Nick Escobar had a few scrambles. He had a really nice 18-yard run that almost picked up a 3rd and 19. So again, able to use his legs a little bit, but he's still not quick enough to really get outside the pocket when there is pressure. He does get run down, and that may just be that speed parity sliding. Now that's at 70, and I like it at 70 out for everything outside of that little part. So. Take it for what it's worth there. Receiving again, Galladay, kind of a quieter game for him, only 76 yards, only 12.7 average. Another touchdown. I believe he leads the NFL in receiving touchdown. Swift, 4 catches. Again, just kind of spread the ball around a little bit to some different receivers here. Pierre Griffin, who's been kind of another surprise rookie for us, didn't really do a ton in the pass game today, just some shorter passes there. Oddly enough, we're playing the Vikings again after the bye week, so literally back-to-back games here. On defense, I mentioned we are tied for the league lead in sacks with 30 so far, so I have upped the pass blocking a little bit. Had 2 more sacks here. Joe Toller, who's just been an outstanding rookie. I mentioned the Justin Coleman touchdown, 70-yard touchdown return. And a few pass breakups there. If you look at the Vikings, again, I'm still throwing in it's the combination of throwing into coverage still a little bit too much, and also them the coverage just being really tight, but I'm afraid to lower it too much more, but it's something I'm keeping an eye on. They had an interception on a zone blitz there, a couple sacks, and if we look at their Kirk Cousins, very similar rating to Nick Escobar, 267, no touchdowns and interception. And I can see Nick Escobar, turning out a similar career to Kirk Cousins. Can move around a little bit. Kirk Cousins is like a low 80, high 70s player. That's probably what Nick Escobar would end up being. So is it a guy we can move forward with? Yeah, potentially, but if there's something there in the draft that looks really otherworldly, it may be hard to pass on. So the Cousins had a decent game. Dalvin Cook, again, I feel like that's containing him. That was the game plan, so only 97 yards. We'll take that. He's a pretty darn good player, just the 3 broken tackles, which we're lucky there. Kyle Rudolph had a nice game. So again, they spread the ball around pretty well there as well. And we looked at their defense, I believe. Yeah. So that was the last game. Again, looking around, we are through the bye week. We're through, 9 games of the season. We're 1-8 right now. So it's just been a rough year. I didn't expect them to be very good with the new coach and everything, but I did not expect them, truthfully, to be that bad. Some updates on the negotiation side of things. We have a bit of a stalemate happening with Frank Ragnow, but we're still optimistic that we can get him re-signed. Otherwise, we may franchise tag him. But he got kind of burnt out with our negotiations. Let's see. We did re-sign a couple other guys. They're not showing here, but it was Tracy Walker. We re-signed, and Deshaun Hand. So a couple younger players that were on the defense, even though our defense has been pretty rough. We're like actually, our pass defense has been decent, but our rush defense, we're like 3rd worst in the league. But Tracy Walker, we have him coming back. And I forget the exact details, but it was 2 or 3 years, something like that, maybe 4, I can't remember. But Tracy Walker is re-signed, so he'll be at strong safety for a little bit for us. And we re-signed Deshaun Hand, who will probably be our defensive tackle 1 next year. Well, it'll be him and Toller. So we have enough depth here at defensive tackle. We can let Danny Shelton go, because I think if we end up either drafting another right end or just going with one of the Aquara brothers on the other side, I mean, that's going to work. Right now, if you're wondering where Trey Flowers is, he's hurt. But basically, Hand would probably move to the inside, and we can let Danny Shelton go because he wants like $10 million on a 1-year deal, which it's possible. That's a lot of money tied up in our defensive line now between Hand, would be Shelton, and then Trey Flowers, who's making $20 million something. But Julian Aquara's had a pretty nice year, actually, filling in at times. Let's see what his stat line looks like here. He's up to he's got 6 sacks so far. He had 20 last year, or I'm sorry, 3 last year as a rookie. So he's progressing pretty well. So we're able to get some pass rush there, even with just kind of a low 70s player. But point being is, I don't think I want to give Danny Shelton big money here when we have so many other areas we could be upgrading with this team. So those are the re-signings that we've done recently. Probably not going to really look to re-sign much else. As far as our draft board, let's take a look. I mean, we have some interesting options here. So again, at the top of the draft, I'm really wanting to see, because we're not really in a position to run a scrambling quarterback offense, but depending on what his metrics look like from the combine, Colin Farley is still probably the guy we have as number 1. Hey, Nick Escobar we like, but Nick Escobar would be a really nice, dependable backup too. So if Colin Farley comes back, he's got A+ throw power, so we still think we can probably switch him over to a quarterback that would fit our system a little bit more with the strong arm quarterback. So Donovan Reed, another early first projection, or I should say a talent at least. He is a cornerback, another 21-year-old too, out of Virginia Tech. So again, that would be a really nice 1-2 punch there with Jeff Okudah. Martin Stoutmire, another early. He'd be a strong safety, but again, that would probably allow us to replace Deron Harmon, and we could go with him and Tracy Walker. Mike Powell is a defensive tackle. Again, we probably won't need him now with Hand, but maybe we could still leave Hand at the end. But very, very talented player who, end up having to pick a guy like that. There's no problem with that. Greg Wilkins would be a really good fit. Again, it would be an upgrade over Julian Aquara, as we saw. But another 21-year-old. So really, I can tell you now, I don't know why I had Wilkins below him, but I swear this thing readjusts the orders sometimes. It's kind of interesting. But again, a couple defensive tackles, but I would tell you it would probably look like, I don't know, it'd be, you guys are all 21, aren't they? 21, 21. If I had to guess, the order would probably look something like that. And then as far as like, you know, potential steals, I mean, here we have like a Marshawn Hartwell, a speed rusher who came out as a late first rounder. So this is somebody you'd probably grab in the third, maybe fourth round. Same thing here, Tevin Killings, pretty nice name. Another guy we could grab later, Sean Griffin. And other. So there's some defensive players we can definitely grab later on. Deontay Bush. So you see some of these guys are kind of creeping up there. So definitely some defensive options, which again is one of the reasons why I have the quarterback high, because he's, I believe, the only quarterback we even have on our draft board who we think could be a good fit for us. So, and again, those defensive players, you know, there's some other options if we needed to fill some of those holes later on. So draft board's looking good. Still plenty of time. Still a handful of players, obviously, that we'll want to take a closer look at. Let's see what else we can chat about here before we jump into the game. I don't think there's much. As I mentioned, Vikings have no injury. We have Trey Flowers out. And, oh, I can show you a couple of the slider changes I'm looking at. Where am I going here? Oops, that's not it. Just a couple adjustments I'm trying for this game for a potential, I guess, 1.11 update, I guess it would be. I have bumped interceptions up 2 points for the user, pass coverage up 5. I've bumped pass block up for the CPU 10. And I'm going to bump that down just 1. Because again, I'm still seeing a lot of pass breakups. Pass defense reaction time. Let's try something like that. So yeah, those are the changes. Just a few little tweaks there. See how it goes this game. So, all right, game plan. And we're going to try and actually work a little bit of play action rollout on offense. A defense stopping the run again. So literally a replay of the last game. So kind of a strange way to go about it, I guess. But guys, thanks for checking out these streams. Super appreciate it. If you'd like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can follow me on Twitter at LikeLow47. Doing all kind of things, really franchise style gaming. We'll be doing it on the PlayStation 5 here in a few weeks, so be on the lookout for that. Realistic franchise against the AI. Kind of going old school. That's what we're doing here.
Season is hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And incomplete to open things up.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll run for the first time with Philip Lindsay. And he gets it to the 34, offense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as he said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And he's going to keep it here. They'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Second and 2. Screen pass to Lindsey. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing.
This is caught inside the 15. A big pickup of 38.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Now a handoff for Lindsey. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. He'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Do against those big receivers, you got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Again, this is Cook. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? The coverage unit out there thinking pass on 3rd and 3. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. Round at the Lions' 24-yard line. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
On third down, Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And Thomas just going to hold on to this one. It's a touchback. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Here's a quick throw left side to start things out. Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And we'll get into the end play there. 85 yards. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach. I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down, Vikings. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Handoff comes to Cook. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And Rudolph has it, the tight end.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find the hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, Kai just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
That'll be complete to Cook. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. (10-7) our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that will knot us up at 10. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Rookie to rookie on the hook out. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
play fake. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. The throw there going to be incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands. His coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line. Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the gun, here's Cousins to Jefferson on the slant. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had the big play in the run game to play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play. That's why you work out so hard in the offseason, so you can stay on the field and accumulate big plays. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Play fake, Cousins. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Julian Okwara, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. Seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense has really flown around in the 1st half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
2nd and 11 at the 41. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing when he delivers the ball.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the 1st half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So not quite a first and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. On the carry, it's Cook. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Detroit's offense ready to take over. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Flushed out right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Yard line. The CD. I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the 44, Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Cousins throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. 2nd and 10, we're all knotted up at 10, but it appears that may change soon. Only question is, will they have to settle for 3? Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So that one will be accepted. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 18. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow the ball carrier.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a shot.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. And that'll be incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
They've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well. He's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
This one brought in by Jefferson. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Here's Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Thomas. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Looking outside, and he's got him in. That's Griffin. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
As he throws there, incomplete. Julian Edelman, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's Jack Fox now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, Reem, you know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. 24-16 was how that one finished. From there, let's get to the Meadowlands to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Chris Carson, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. DJ Chark, a touchdown reception.